Happy Halloween, everyone. This is a rare occasion for my content, but I'm hoping to do it more often. That's right, this video is a Halloween special for this channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Ghost type and how well it worked in Pokemon history. This will be an analysis on the Ghost type, its stats, best moves, and how they do in Gens 1 through 3 of Pokemon respectively. Since one Ghost type is a trait evolution, we'll go with its pre-evolution instead. So now that I explained what I'll cover, let's jump right into this analysis. Beginning the analysis, we have to cover the Ghost type once again, but with more depth. Ghost started off as a defensively good type, having an impactful immunity to one of the best types in game. Ghost resisted bug and poison while being immune to normal and fighting, but only being weak to itself. This type was supposed to counter the strongest type in all of Gen 1, but thanks to a strange programming flaw, Ghost does nothing to said type at all. Ghost was strong against itself while doing nothing to normal and psychic. Since Ghost couldn't touch Psychic, that solidified Psychic's dominance over Kanto. But thankfully, that strange flaw would get ironed out by Gen 2. While Ghost would remain mostly unchanged, it would gain a new weakness from the Dark type. As for new offensive power, Ghost was strong against itself and Psychic while not doing much to Dark or Steel. Strangely enough, Ghost would be a physical counterpart to Dark, and Ghost would give physical attackers much needed coverage. Up next are the species of Ghost types from Gens 1 through 3, and while the first one did great, the others aren't quite as good. For Gens 1 and 2 in a row, the only Ghost that was readily accessible was Hoenn. Like I mentioned in an earlier video, Hoenn had great resistances and 2 great immunities in Gens 1 and 2, but suffered from Psychic and ground weaknesses. Hoenn also had a great moveset with amazing coverage, as well as getting a strong same-type move. Hoenn has 45 HP, 50 attack, 45 defense, 115 special, which would later become 115 special attack and 55 special defense, as well as 95 speed. And even though Hoenn is a middle stage Pokemon, it's still a great first Ghost type. In the Gen 1 remakes of Fire Red and Leaf Green, Hoenn is mostly unchanged from its Gen 2 counterpart, but gained a great ability in Levitate, making it immune to ground moves. Next up at Gen 2, there's another Ghost Pokemon that isn't a trait evolution, but isn't obtained until getting to Mount Silver. Misdreavus is the very first Ghost type to not have a secondary type, and is also the very first Ghost type to be a single-stage Pokemon, at least for Gens 2 and 3. Misdreavus is 60 HP, attack, defense, and 85 special attack, special defense, and speed. While it doesn't look spectacular on the surface, Misdreavus sets itself apart from the Hoenn line by not having a Psychic weakness. By the Gen 1 remakes of Fire Red and Leaf Green, Misdreavus is available once again, but restricted to the post-game of Leaf Green only. It does share the same great ability Hoenn has in Levitate though, so that's good at least. Moving onwards to Gen 3 proper, we get the weakest new Ghost types for the game, but while some aren't as good as Hoenn, they still have some great things going for them. The earliest Ghost type you can get is Sableye, the very first Ghost type to use one of Gen 2's new types of Dark. While all that sounds great, Sableye is so weak that it'll only be a strong Pokemon up until the 4th gym. Sableye has 50 HP, 75 attack, 75 defense, 65 special attack, 65 special defense, and 50 speed. Despite Sableye's great typing of Dark and Ghost, it's still the worst Ghost type thanks to its bad stats. Shedinja is another early Ghost type you can get, a unique Ghost type that's also a Bug type. However, it's only obtained if you train Nincado to level 20 to evolve in a Ninjask, and have an empty slot in your team along with an extra Pokeball. Shedinja also has a superlative ability called Wonder Guard, letting it be immune to every attack move unless it's super effective. If Shedinja sounds so amazing, then why is it ranking this low? Well, let me tell you. Shedinja has 1 HP, 90 attack, 45 defense, 30 special attack, 30 special defense, and 40 speed. While the attack stat looks good, every other stat is horrible. As for Shedinja having 1 HP, it doesn't go up to 100 HP even at level 100. It's instead specifically programmed to remain at 1 HP no matter what level Shedinja is at, leaving it to faint from just one turn of Sandstorm. What an unlucky twist. Banette is the second Pokemon on the list to be pure Ghost, and is easy to obtain before getting to Mount Pyre. Banette is the first Ghost type to finally utilize its same type moves properly, but it's wanting other stats to be better instead. Banette is 64 HP, 115 attack, 65 defense, 83 special attack, 63 special defense, and 65 speed. That's right, another slow frail syndrome Pokemon just like Capturn and Absol. Ain't that just great? One thing that's decent for Banette is its ability Insomnia, being completely immune to all kinds of sleep moves. Though seeing how the usual playthroughs of Gen 3 Hoenn is, Insomnia is kinda situational and most opponents would exploit Banet's terrible defenses. Dusclops is the hardest ghost type to get in Hoenn, but still the very best ghost in Hoenn regardless. Dusclops also has the same pure ghost type Banet and Misdreavus have, but instead has far better defenses and utility moves such as Pain Split and Rapid Spin. Even makes better use of Curse, Destiny Bond, Grudge, and Will-O-Wisp. Dusclops has 40 HP, 70 attack, 130 defense, 60 special attack, 130 special defense, and 25 speed. The only thing holding Dusclops back is its bad HP stat, otherwise it'd be a really good tank. While Dusclops might be very good for Gen 3 competitive battles, it's otherwise a hit-or-miss ghost for many playthroughs in Hoenn. Finally, we move onwards to the moves of the ghost type, and while some can be weak, most are very strong and helpful. Starting with the ghost moves of Gen 1, we have Nightshade. It's the very first ghost move to exist and being limited to the Haunter line, but not doing type-based damage at all, only doing level equivalent damage. Ironically enough, it's able to hit normal types and psychic types in Gen 1 only. Confuse Ray is the first of many ghost moves to inflict status, obviously confusing the target and being 100% accurate. Lick is the first ghost move to do type-based damage, albeit with 20 base power, 100 accuracy, and 30 power points. But its 30% chance of paralyzing the target can be extremely helpful. Up next we have the ghost moves of Gen 2, and they're far more useful than what came earlier. Nightmare is the second most widely known ghost move, but only learned via TM. Nightmare cuts the target's health by 1/4 of its max HP per turn, but it only works if the opponent's asleep. Spite is the third most known ghost move, though mostly spread via breeding. Spite has 100 accuracy and 10 power points, causing the opponent's last used move to be reduced by 2 to 5 power points at random. It only fails if the opponent hasn't made a move, or if they have 0 power points. Destiny Bond is limited to the Haunter line, as well as Misdreavus and Wobbuffet of all things. After Destiny Bond is used, if the opponent's attack knocks a user out, then the opponent is knocked out as well. Literally the easiest way to win impossible battles. Shadow Ball is the best and most widely known ghost move, and a very sought after TM. Shadow Ball has 80 power, 100 accuracy, and 15 power points, making it very helpful for normal types facing against ghosts. Hidden Power Ghost is the hardest ghost move to get in Gen 2, and not as worthwhile as Shadow Ball. It has 30 to 70 power, 100 accuracy, and 15 power points. Only there for physical attackers that need to hit ghosts but can't get Shadow Ball. Next on the list we have the ghost moves of Gen 3. While the new moves are just mostly attacks, they're still helpful anyways. Grudge is known by all ghosts except Sableye, but is somehow learned by the Ninetales line as well. Grudge is similar to Destiny Bond, but instead of knocking out the target, it totally wipes out the power points of the move the target used to knock out the user with. Astonish is the most widely known ghost move other than Shadow Ball, but is almost as weak as Lick. Astonish has 30 power, 100 accuracy, and 15 power points. And while it needs more power points, the 30% chance of flinching the target is always nice. Shadow Punch is the least known ghost move, only being known by Haunter, Dusclops, and is somehow learned by Muck through breeding also. Shadow Punch has 60 power, infinite accuracy, and 20 power points, being able to hit the target regardless of the target's evasion or the user's accuracy. Why such a good move like Shadow Punch isn't widely known is beyond me. Finally, we make it to how each ghost type does in a typical playthrough, and it's a surprise to see how well each one does for their respective game's challenges. One immediate thing to point out is that Haunter won't have any reliable way to counter Faulkner in Gen 2 unless relying on an ally with different moves. Starting in Gen 1, Haunter will do best against Brock, Misty with Thunderbolt, Lieutenant Surge, Erika with Psychic, Koga with Psychic, Giovanni with Psychic and Mega Drain, Lorelei with Thunderbolt, Bruno, Agatha with Psychic, Lance, and Blue's Pidgeot with Thunderbolt, Rhydon with Mega Drain, Gyarados and Blastoise with Thunderbolt, Charizard with Thunderbolt, and Venusaur with Psychic. As for Gen 2, Haunter will do best against Bugsy, Whitney with status moves, Chuck, Price with status moves, Will, Koga's poison types, Bruno, Karen's poison types, Erika's Victory Bell, Janine, Misty with Thunderbolt and Giga Drain, Brock with Giga Drain, Blue's Pidgeot with Thunderbolt, Rhydon with Giga Drain, Gyarados with Thunderbolt, Exeggutor with Shadow Ball, Rocket's Wheezing and Raticate lines with status moves, Silver's Crobat with Thunderbolt or Psychic, Gengar with Shadow Ball or Psychic, and Feraligatr with Thunderbolt or Giga Drain, and Red's Snorlax with status moves, Charizard with Thunderbolt, Blastoise with Thunderbolt or Giga Drain, and Venusaur with Psychic. Misdreavus will do best against Faulkner with Psywave, Bugsy, Whitney with status moves, Morty, Chuck, Will, Koga except Fortress, Bruno, Karen's poison types, Erica's Victory Bell, Janine, Sabrina, Missy with Thunderbolt, Blue's Pidgeot and Gyarados with Thunderbolt, Alakazam and Exeggutor with Shadow Ball, Team Rocket's poison types, Silver's poison types with psychic moves, Alakazam with Shadow Ball, Feraligatr with Thunderbolt, and Red's Espeon with Shadow Ball, Venusaur with psychic moves, Charizard and Blastoise with Thunderbolt. Moving onwards to Gen 3, Bayonet will do best against Roxanne, Brawly, Norman with status moves, be careful of Feint Attack, Winona except Altaria, Tate and Liza, Juan except Wishcash, Sydney's Crawdaunt with electric moves, Phoebe, Glacia with electric moves, Wallace except Ludicolo and Whiscash, Team Aqua except Mighty Endoline, Team Magma's flying types, and Steven Skarmory and Claydol. Dusclops will do best against Roxanne, Brawly, Norman with status moves, Winona except Pelipper, Tate and Liza, Sydney's grass types, Phoebe, Drake except Kingdra, Rivals Tropius and Grovyle with ice moves, Team Aqua's flying types, Team Magma's flying types, and Steven's Claydol and Credilli with ice moves. I won't cover what Sableye or Shedinja do good against since both of them are far too weak. Sableye might have a great type with no weaknesses as well as a great move pool, but every stat it has is terrible and it can't utilize said moves properly because of it. Shedinja has abysmal HP and also has common weaknesses. There's too many fire, flying, rock, ghost, and dark moves used by many trainers in Hoenn. And if that's not bad enough, some trainers in Hoenn utilize great status moves to knock down Shedinja anyways, so again, it's not worth it. In conclusion, Ghost type in Gen 1 was a good defensive type, having a beneficial immunity to the overpowered normal type. However, when the type changes to Gen 2 came around, Ghost became a physical offense type in Gens 2 and 3. While Haunter did great in Gen 1 and did good in Gen 2 along with Misdreavus, most Ghost types had mixed results in terms of performance by Gen 3. Sometimes other Ghosts did good and other times, Ghost didn't do so good at all. But no worries, Ghost type gets buffed more and more over the next few gens leading up to right now. And I might cover said buffs the Ghost type as a whole gets. Hey look, that's all I got for now. If you enjoyed my analysis on the Ghost type in Gens 1 through 3, please give it a like or comment telling me what you enjoyed the most about this video. Until next time, have a good day and a happy Halloween.